Alrighty, howdy y'all. Hope y'all are having a fantastic day. Today we got legs, and I'm not going to be doing back squats for this leg day. Probably next leg day is when I was thinking of doing my thing of back squats. So most likely going to be starting out with the leg press machine. However, honestly, I know I said like for barbell squats I wouldn't quite be doing them as often, but if I could get the Smith machine open like right away when I get there, I wouldn't mind starting with some Smith machine back squats, because I know it is slightly different than back squats, because obviously you don't have to worry about controlling, or not controlling, balancing and like stabilizing and whatnot, because you're in that fixed line of motion. So honestly, if that's open, I'll probably start with that when I get there, but if it's not, probably start with a hack squat, and then we'll see what we do, whether it be some sort of not RDL but split squats, or maybe just heavy leg press rather than single leg this time. I'm trying to think of what other quad extension. Obviously, well, quad extension, leg extension. I'm gonna be doing that. Always do. Then probably gonna do my lying leg curls before I do my RDLs or whatnot, because it felt better last time, and I'm gonna try it again and see how that feels. Then RDLs and calves, probably doing the same stuff for calves. I may try using the calf raise machine today, the one I like actually wanted to use. The last time I used it though, and probably more user error than it was machine, but I like rolled my ankle like kinda sorta. So it's kind of a weird angle of like the shoulder calf raises. It's like an angle. I don't know. It's weird. We'll see if that ends up even being the one I use. But yeah, besides that, that's all I've got. So I'm gonna go get some dinner and head over to the gym, and I'll see y'all there.
Alrighty. Firstly, to start off this leg day, one thing I will say was amazing. I like obviously nobody really ever looks forward to a leg day. Although I take that back. There's a very niche few that do, and I'm usually like 70-30 on it. I'll occasionally look forward to a leg day, but today was just about a medium looking forward to it. But oh my goodness, was it fantastic! It was an amazing leg day. And I know it may not seem like it's too amazing, as you can see, because I am starting out with Smith machine back squats, and I am doing it facing the wrong way. Now, I like did it with the bar without weight on, and I'm just like, oh, you know what, this feels right. I mean, I don't think it would be outwards, because I don't get to do it much because the Smith machine's always fucking taken. So I just did them this way because I'm like, oh, I think this is right. And then after it, I'm like, it doesn't feel right turning like the safeties forward, obviously, when your leg or your arms are getting pinned backwards. So I looked it up for my next two sets and figured out that I was doing it the wrong way. So I did change it for my last two sets. And like I've said before, I do look at my videos after my sets and fact check that I'm doing most of my stuff right. Obviously, if it feels wrong. If it does feel right, I usually don't check it, which is also why I make videos. If I'm doing something wrong, I want you to call me out for it. Obviously, I will still fact check like you, because it'll the comment or the idea of the feedback, it puts it in my mind, and I'm like, okay, so this is how they're saying I should do it. Okay, well now I do need to look at it. I do need to make sure and see what's right, whether I am or they are. And I look for that. I want to be doing it as the best I can be. So obviously, like I said, I invite anyone to correct me or fix me on workouts if I am doing them wrong, because I do want to be doing them right. But these felt amazing. Now, if the Smith machine was open more often, I'd probably be doing these every leg day, because it's the same benefit of back squat, except I can feel it more in my quads because I don't have to worry about stabilizing my body as much. So these went great. They felt great. I was getting good depth, happy with the weight, and as you can see, 8 reps, all sets, went really well. Um, Probably going to start with the last weight I ended with, because I probably could be doing more, but since I never get to do it, I was just kind of testing out the weight. But I will say, if the Smith machine is open when I get to the gym as my first workout, I will be doing that probably from now on. Obviously, I do plan on doing regular back squats next week, as I said, because I still want to have those incorporated into my workout, but just not as frequently as I used to. But regardless of all the chitty back squat talk, moving on to some leg press. The leg press felt great. Um, the depth is good. I'm always looking at these, and I never feel like I get all that much depth. But looking at the sled, it moves all the way down, and my knees are like, I'm getting as far as I can go. When I'm pushing, I'm like hitting my stomach. Like it's like almost physically harder for me to go farther. Now, I'm not saying that does mean I'm doing it correctly. I do think that I need to try some different leg positions on leg press. I think I need to move my feet around a little bit. That did feel great for quads, and I do felt like I got depth, but I do think I should look it up now. I do think I'm doing it right. I don't know. I kind of scrap everything I just said. I do think I'm doing it right. I felt it in my quads. Don't need to look into it, honestly. I think I did everything right. Sorry, that was kind of a jumble of words, but I don't feel like going back and re-recording this. So, anyways, as you can see, leg extensions went pretty well. I think I could probably start with the lighter weight. As you'll see coming up, I did end up having to lower the weight for both my second and my third set, and I do want to be consistently I think a good standard to set myself to now would be for my first 2 sets, if I can do the weight for all the reps for the first 2 sets, I can probably move up weight. So that's what I need to be kind of holding myself accountable to. I know that if that is the case, usually, unless I'm hurt for some reason, I will move up the weight for that last set, like if I do the first 2 for 8, unless obviously those first 2 for 8 just completely drained me and I was struggling to finish that second set. But I do think that's a good, so I can, because I haven't spoke about, I've been kind of back and forth with how I talk about jumping up and going down weight. And I do think that if I hold myself to that that pattern, that goal of the first 2 sets completed before moving up weight, that'll help me consistently move up more, because I do feel like I jump up a bit, and I'm kind of all over the place sometimes. But maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm just kind of, maybe making videos and re-looking at it is making me feel like I do more than I actually do. But I don't know. If I am being a little inconsistent and maybe I do need to figure some things out, again, I invite, opinions. So, and then obviously finishing, I don't normally do calves before any other of my leg workouts, but the Smith machine was taken and I was determined to do Smith machine RDLs. Also, I'm not getting as much depth as I should, so I'm pushing my butt out a little more to feel a bit more of the stretch of my hamstrings, because that safety on the far left side, you'll see me adjust it here soon, was getting in the way, and my dumbass didn't just put it on the first rung, because I thought that would be too high up, because I was hitting the handle part of it with the plate on the side of my RDL. So I ended up fixing it after my second set, just realizing that all I needed to do was put it on the first rung, and then it'd be out of the way and I'd be able to get my full depth. So, but yeah, besides that little jumble that I meant about leg press, I do think I'm doing leg press good. I really do. I think it went well. I was pushing 700 pounds. I was really proud of it, and I was able to do it for 2 sets for 8, and then obviously 5 for my last set, and I was really happy with how it went, and it felt great, And I mean, that regardless of how you're doing a workout, obviously this is to an extent, but I think regardless of how you're doing a workout, if it feels good and you do not have pain, that is a good baseline to know at any level if you're doing a workout okay. Obviously there's instances where you could be doing a workout and it may not feel like it, you could be feeling good and you're not doing it right at all, but I would argue for most workouts that is a pretty good baseline. But I don't want to keep saying I could be wrong. That is genuinely what I think. I think that if it feels good and you're doing it and nothing hurts, that's a good baseline to be at. So, yeah, and that's how it was with leg press. So, like I said, overall a great leg day, and obviously here's cardio for you, and I'll see you back at the apartment.
Alrighty, back at the apartment. Exciting news. Got the change in video layout coming out in this next video after this one. And not that it's anything groundbreaking or anything extraordinary, but it's a change, so I hope you guys like it, and if you don't, I'll figure something else out to hopefully entertain y'all, and if this is the format you like, just the original, then I'll go back to doing that. But also to clear up how I was kind of rambling on about the leg press, I was just saying that obviously I could move my legs around if I needed to, because I know that I can move my legs up on the platform for the leg press, and it would give me more depth probably, but then it would be activating my hamstrings more. And not that I don't think I need more depth. I think I'm good. It feels great. I'm literally going as far as I can, so I'm not worried about it. I was just saying I could if I wanted to. So I just phrased that really badly. If you can't already tell, I tend to have it where my mouth talks faster than my brain can formulate things, and that is why I don't know if it was the last video or the video before, but I stated how I'm a little self-conscious about how I tend to ramp up my talking, because I feel with videos, it's just a habit I have that when I'm being recorded, that I need to talk as much as I can. Usually that's a bad thing. So just as in like, I'm stuttering a lot and misspeaking a bunch, so just got to work on toning it back a little bit. But yeah, pretty good. um I just wanted to say, like, also, oh, no, sorry, this is what I was just about to say, I was going to lead into. As for the baseline of the workouts, like feeling good, obviously, like, I don't mean that just because it feels good means you're doing it right. I meant it in the sense where, like, mainly for beginners, obviously, but like, if it feels good, just like for that workout, do it. Like, if you go in and you think you're doing it, I mean, what am I saying? We have technology in our hands. If it feels good, you should be okay. But obviously, if it's your first few times going to the gym, just keep checking yourself. Look it up, make sure you're doing it right. I was just saying, kind of, I don't know why I'm saying if it feels good. We can literally look it up. So I just don't feel like going back and re-recording the voiceover. So um, I just wanted to clarify that, and that me having to clarify all this stuff really does just stem from my um, talking before I'm thinking. Like, I have the idea in my head, but I'm saying it's like it's coming out like not fully formulated, so it's not like portrayed or spoken out the best. So, but that's kind of what I meant. Just obviously, check yourself. I was just saying, like, as long as it feels good, you should be looking pretty good. But still, obviously, check yourself and look up what you need to be doing and all that. So, I just wanted to make sure I don't want to be misleading anyone. I just do your research. Also, I said, I don't even know. Never mind. See, this is where I'm getting ahead of what I'm thinking. But do your research before you go into the gym. But don't be afraid to get in there. The gym community is one of the best in the world, in my opinion. I mean, obviously every community is going to have its negative aspects, but everyone's there to get better, and that's what's important. Doesn't matter what they're getting better for. They're there to better themselves, and that's really what's important about it. So that's why it's just such a great community, because it's just a bunch of people wanting to be better. So obviously you're going to have a few bad eggs there, here and there, but so is life. But don't be afraid, and I guarantee you'll make friends and find people to talk to. Everyone I've talked to, well, 99% of the people I've talked to in the gym have been just absolutely wonderful people, and I'm so happy to have met them, even if it is just for a short conversation. And you never know, you can meet lifelong friends, and you just learn really interesting things. I mean, people have just such different stories than you, so don't be afraid to get out there and hit the gym and maybe talk to some people. So yeah, I mean, one of the things I want to do with this channel, the main thing I want to do with this channel is motivate people. So, and I know I haven't done much like speaking on motivational like stuff, because motivation and speaking, I guess almost philosophically isn't something you can really force, in my opinion, especially if it doesn't like relate to the topic you're talking about. So I haven't done it much. I don't know. I really want to motivate people, and I'm hoping this platform really helps. If I could choose between like succeeding in bodybuilding or entertaining and blowing up on YouTube, or just motivating a small group of people, or even just one person, I would choose the motivation, because, and as cliche as that sounds, I know it sounds cliche, but the idea that I'm helping someone